that were passed, you know, these same people control your education. What makes you think that, you know, you're going to be able to get out of the situation that you're in if you let them teach you? You know, that's something to think about. You know, if you're going to these schools, like, look at the curriculum. You know, none of it relates to what's going on in your community. If I ask you guys, like, what's capitalism? Can anybody give me a working definition?
Capitalism?
Yeah.
I think I might have it mixed up.
You guys are ahead of the game, though, because I'm surprised.
So
I seen everybody hand went up. Okay.
Capitalism. I got it mixed up with communism. Capitalism. Let me come back if you
Okay. Anybody? It's something you guys should be able to.
I can take a shot for it, I guess.
Capitalism.
I can take a shot.
Yeah.
It's a system where you have like one central power and then it like one like central like government, I believe, and then it like basically controls the land instead of like, you know, it's like, I'm explaining. It's like trading and like bartering kind of with like money and things and such. I don't know, something like that.
Or anybody else want to take a stab at it?
It's like
Business.
But the point I'm making, I'm gonna let you. But the point I'm making is, like, this is the economic system of America and the world. It's a global economic system that we're. Now, I'm not going to say that it's, you know, laissez-faire, meaning, you know, no government involvement at all. But we're under a capitalist economy, but none of us are able to explain what it is, though.
I think it's where like the rich stay rich and
I would agree. I would agree with
like
that.
It's like this. I'm sorry, I just had to touch on that whole rich stay rich thing. All right, let's say it's $50 over here, right? And it's another group over there. They got $10 or whatever. It's like, if we all got different products, and I'm just buying, I buy products over her, so my money goes to her. She buy products over her, so her money goes to her. She buy products over you, you buy products over him, you buy products over him, he buys products over him, and it just comes back to me. So the money's just circulating between us. That's where all that. That's why the rich stay rich, because that their money is just, and then now they're paying us, they're giving us their money. So so now they're giving us their money, so more money is circulating between us because we're passing money around between us and they're passing money up to us.
Well, and it depends on what group you are within the system, because you know, there's people who control the banks, like they print the money. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, all they need is you guys to believe, you know, the value of this dollar is nothing more valuable than this. You know, as long as they control that, then they're good. They can stay rich because everybody out here, y'all want to get money, right?
A lot of times,
generally speaking,
that's what they selling you too, money. You think they selling you the product? No, they selling you the money because you need the money to get the product a lot of times. So
in Africa, at one point they used cowrie shells as a form of currency. You know, not money. I saw some. Did you want to say something? But capitalism, basically the principles of capitalism is individualism. They want to promote individualism. You know, don't worry about that other guy, get yours. You know, private property, competition.
They're like every man for himself mentality.
You know, these
survival of the fittest.
Survival of the fittest.
18 out.
But it's a system based on capital. We're talking about, you know, it could be money or property. But the system is based on that. Like, we come from a people who, you know, we come from communal society. Communalism was our thing, where we put people ahead of everything, above all that, above profit, above currency. In the capitalist system, capital comes first. You know, cost benefit. That's what we're looking at when we're dealing with capitalism. You know, oh, I can help this guy out, but what is it going to cost me to do that? Oh no, that's not benefiting me at all. I'm okay. You know, so that's the sort of system we live in. But I say that to say, you know, we should be able to define capitalism define democracy, know what a republic is. These are things we should know, because everything is basically, look, we're controlled by political decisions that are being made. And so politics and economy is controlling our lives. Now there's a higher force, there's a greater force than that, of course, you know, but every day when we're dealing with, you know, who gets what, people are making political decisions and saying, you know what, nah, we're not gonna put any money over there, we're gonna put it over here. We're gonna spend money in these schools and not those schools. And so, you know, we had groups, Black Panther Party was such a group, who wanted to organize the community because they felt that capitalism wasn't doing any justice for our people. They felt that we were being oppressed and exploited, you know, by the system. We mentioned system a lot tonight, or this afternoon. It's dark in there. But we mentioned system a lot, but we should know what the system is. And so, you know, these are things that I'm going to discuss, and I think there's only like 4 classes, and I feel like I can't, you know, I got to pick and choose what it is that we're going to talk about. But what I'm going to do, I'll admit I wasn't prepared like I wanted to be, but I want to bring a 10-point program for you guys. And basically what I brought up earlier today, when I told you guys I want y'all to come together and think of some issues in the community that y'all would like to resolve, this is what the Black Panther Party did. They came up with a 10-point program. They said that, you know, they believe that everybody should be entitled to shelter, food, clothing, you know, and housing. You know, they felt that we had a right to determine our destiny, you know, and how do we do that? We come from under the grips of these capitalists, the white oppressor, even though, you know, you have black capitalists out there too who do the same thing.
That's why it's about righteousness.
Yeah.
It's not about race.
It's not about race, it's about righteousness.
Yeah. So these are, and that's another thing too. I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. Like, what do y'all know anything about the Black Panther Party? Does anybody know anything about them at all?
Stuff that was very important for
No, absolutely. You're right. And I'm pretty sure everybody in here has a family member who's been a part of the Black Panther Party.
Right.
You guys know anything about the Black Panther Party? This goes back to the education,
I know that
the system in the school.
I know that like, they were like heavily armed and such. Like they had like weaponry.
This goes back to the program and the misdirection. Not to say that they weren't, but how come that's all you know about them? Bro?
Yeah, like what you said, I just know that they were portrayed like really badly in movies and shows.
And
I would
that's
just say like
funny,
weaponry is bad.
because
though.
now
Like,
you
they
can
had to defend
recognize
themselves.
what that is. Control perception. When they control how you view things. And that's very powerful.
Yeah.
That's why television is the key to a lot of this. Television, the internet, all of that stuff is the key, because these are the ways that they control your perception of reality.
Because your perception shapes your beliefs.
Exactly.
Most definitely, your beliefs,
did they stop stuff like say if drugs was like coming into the community, they would try to prevent that from happening? Was that like?
In the beginning, what they were doing, because I know a lot of the members of the Black Panther Party got involved in drugs later on, you know, so I'm not going to, you know, paint them all as angels. Now, in the beginning, a lot of this came though afterwards, because there was an issue with the funding, but the government had flooded the community with drugs. And so some of the people who were members of the party was like, okay, you know, since at this point, the Black Panther Party was already infiltrated, and a lot of, you know, the party was almost dead, and we're talking about maybe like the mid-70s. You know, it wasn't the same as it was in the beginning. So at this point, you know, the Black Panther Party weren't doing a lot of the things that they set out to do. You know, and some of them were maybe involved in drugs, using drugs, but then again, you know, we don't know if these guys were people who were working for the government or not, because the government, don't think that somebody working for the government had to go through training, and they actually, you know, it could be a guy out outside selling drugs or using drugs, and the FBI come over to them and be like, hey, you want to make a couple dollars, you want to make some money, we need you to do this. Go down to the Black Panther Party office and become a member of the Black Panther Party, you know. And so now you got this guy who's a junkie, who's, you know, part of the Black Panther Party, or this drug dealer who's a part of the Black Panther Party. Create, you know, now you have, it's creating this image of the Black Panther Party as drug dealers or drug users. But this is an FBI, you know, this is a paid informant. So, you know, they were heavily infiltrated later on. But in the beginning, yeah, they were organizing the community. Their initial purpose was to stop police violence. Sounds familiar, right?
Right.
Sounds very familiar. This was in 1966. October 15, 1966, the Black Panther Party was created. Now, Bobby Seale went back and said that the date was wrong. Now, anywhere you look up, though, if you look up on the internet or you read any books on the Black Panther Party, it will say October 15. Bobby Seale, now, he came out recently, was like, no, it was like a few days earlier because this had happened. You know, so basically, you know, it might have been October 12th, but the records say October 15th, 1966. Now, but there's a reason why you guys aren't told about the Black Panther Party, because, you know, they started things like the free breakfast program, right? You know, like before that, you know, kids were going to school hungry. Now, it's 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, and you in school, your stomach growling, and teachers talking. We barely want to listen to them now, even with a full stomach. Now, if you hungry and you're in class, you're not learning anything, right? So the Black Panther Party instituted the free breakfast program. You know, next thing you know, the government's like, oh, we better put this in place for everybody. You know, because the Black Panther Party, when they were doing that, and the kids were coming in and eating, you know, filling their stomach up, that was an opportunity for the Black Panther Party to give them some history lessons, you know, and tell them about, you know, capitalism exploitation of our communities, you know, the rundown housing that's going on in our communities. It was an opportunity for them to connect with the people. And so, you know, that's something for you guys to keep in mind. If you intend on connecting with people in the community, think of something that your community needs. How can you service your community? You know, is it something that the children are missing that you guys can help out? You know, can we start a tutoring program? You know, teach the kids math when they're struggling at math. You might be terrible at math, but you might know somebody down the street that's great at math. You know, go over to them. Hey, you know, you're good at math. We're about to start this tutoring program. You know, be creative. But if we expect to, you know, have any sort of change in our community and empower our people, you know, we gotta come up with ideas and we gotta implement those ideas. We gotta put it into action. We can't just talk about what's wrong. You know, we can talk about what's wrong all day. We got Jesse Jackson out sharpening, man. We wanna hear about what's wrong. You know, they gonna do all the talking. And that was why the Black Panther Party was looked at. Anybody who came up during that time in the community respect the Black Panther Party, because they weren't just talking. They were in the community. They was patrolling the police. The police was riding in the community, brutal. Like they'd be right behind the police like this in their cars, waiting for them to jump out on somebody. They jump out on somebody and they harass anybody in the community. The Black Panther Party come out, and they ain't have the cameras then, but they'll be sitting there viewing it with their guns out because it was legal. It was legal to carry. So they'll be there with their shotguns and their pistols, watching the police like that. And the police would be scared. You know, the police wouldn't harass that person with a bunch of black people, you know, men and women looking at them with guns in their hand. I'll tell you that.
But it's funny, just to add what he was saying, when he talked about the infiltration of the various groups through COINTELPRO, right? COINTELPRO, what happened was, because of the Freedom of Information Act, they had to release documents about this secret infiltration program.
So you can Google this.
Right. So what they said, and this is what the FBI said in their documents. You can go and find this online. It says that the reason they were infiltrating the groups, like the Black Panthers, Nation of Islam and all of them, is because they were trying to prevent the rise of a black Messiah. Okay? And this is what they say in their documents. So the thing is this, what we have to understand, the key is this. A Messiah is what's the Messiah supposed to be?
A leader.
Messenger.
Or the Savior,
Savior.
right? Messiah is supposed to be the Savior. The thing is this, what we as individuals have to realize is that we are our own Messiahs. Okay? And why do I say that? What I'm saying is not blasphemy. What I'm saying to you is that all the Creator asks you to do is live a righteous life. That's all He expects of you, to live a righteous life. Thus, you become your own Savior. When you live righteous, look at how many people have died waiting for a Savior to come and save you. Right? Be your own Savior. Because all you got to do is live righteously and have those good deeds outweighing those bad deeds. That's it. That's it. And when we all start living like that in our communities, things can straighten out. Things can become better. But until we realize that, they're going to send whatever you try to establish to counteract what they're doing, they're going to infiltrate and they're going to destroy it from within. That's what they do. That's the MO. This is what they said in the COINTELPRO that you can see online. They said that they were watching Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., Elijah Muhammad, and Stokely Carmichael. Right?
Well, what they say about Malcolm, he said.
Well, they said they were definitely afraid of Malcolm because he had that potential to be that Messiah, because he was doing a lot of stuff. They said that they weren't concerned about King as long as he was following their agenda, and I'm going to show you what they meant by that. But King, what happened when he got away from their agenda? What did they do? They killed him too. They said Elijah Muhammad, they weren't worried about him because he was too old. And they said Stokely Carmichael, they just said he had potential. So the thing is that whatever you try to do, these people are going to infiltrate and try to destroy you. So the thing is, like I said, this life is about returning to your Creator. With a life that is pleasing to your Creator. So live righteously. If we all live righteously, we'll be able to defeat this system. But that's what it's about, because our vices power this system. When we go out and gamble, when we go out and kill people, whatever, whatever these vices are, when we get hooked on drugs or alcohol, all of this stuff powers this system. But if you live righteously, then you stay away from that type of stuff. So it's
Yeah, those interesting point too. There's some names that you mentioned: Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. There's some guys in history. I'm sure we had Black History Month and we learned something about Black history.
My
right?
school didn't do anything about that.
No,
You're absolutely right.
Is there any people that they emphasize though in our history?
Wow. Not the whole month. Nothing.
Well, at all though.
They stopped a lot of Black History Month.
Is there anything that you learned just in general
From school?
Yeah.
he's a because
teaching you something.
it goes back to that point. They're not there to educate your children. They're there to indoctrinate them into the system.
There you go.
That's what it's about. Bombard them with positive white imagery, okay, to lower their self-esteem. Go ahead.
Just like when they had my white teacher teaching Black history. I had no problem with that, but at the same time, it was the class was about Black history. But all he could tell us is like how we got whipped. I get it. All he could tell us about is like how we got whipped or whatnot. And he didn't really tell us about anything. He just basically told us about his perspective.
Were there any figures that he talked about?
His perception.
No. Who are some people that we know though? Who are some people that we know in history though? Black leaders. Martin Luther King.
We didn't have
George
Black
Washington
History Month in our school as a whole, but there was one teacher or two that actually showed us films on such things. There was a film on Malcolm X that our history teacher did show us, and that really important me.
Okay. Are there anybody? We got Martin Luther King. We have Malcolm X.
Yeah,
They didn't teach him in school.
No, they.
You learned about him.
No, they literally taught me.
Oh, okay.
My teacher, he was like an individual person. He literally taught us.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. So
That's how you gotta get it.
From Philadelphia.
Farrakhan.
Farrakhan. They talk about Farrakhan in school? Then?
No, that's
Okay, but you know about
Let's see.
Do you know any Rosa Parks? Okay.
That's pretty much it. Martin Luther King and Rosa
Yeah.
Parks.
Yep.
What about Booker T. Washington?
Mansa Musa.
Du Bois.
Booker T. Washington?
Mansa
Yeah.
Musa. Like
Mansa Musa.
I like stuff saying like pre-slavery because they always like tell us like post-slavery stuff. Like we did a lot more before that.
You know what they never? Do you know what they really never teach? Life right before slavery.
Oh, okay. Like in Africa.
They only teach like
African
post-slavery.
I got some stuff for you.
Yeah.
I got some stuff to share.
So I was in class, and my teacher who taught us about he made us watch this documentary. They had to do it. He said, listen, Africa is not what they make it on TV. Because you see, like, every time you look at Africa, it's like, they so poor, they this, they that, $1 a day. And he was like, he made us watch this whole documentary on how beautiful Africa is. And a lot of children was like, oh my God, I didn't know it was such an eye-opener. And I found this so sad because it was like, why? Why we gotta be treated this way? Why can't y'all give us a pure image? Why can't we get the truth, the pure image of how we really are? Like, why can't we just be golden? You know?
Because it goes back to that point about perception. They want to control your perception.
What do you guys, when y'all saw the Goodbye Uncle Tom video, how did y'all feel after seeing that?
Because like I know like a lot of like obscure things and like slavery, like they used to take like women, well like men and women, and then they used to take like horses and then like rip them apart, and then they used to like buck break males, like they used to rape them out. But it's like I didn't know dad stuff, like because dad like really seemed like a system, like they were making like products or something, like it just goes through all these different phases. So yeah, that was.
What emotion did you feel when y'all were watching that? Was there any sort of emotion that arose?
I felt hurt.
Anger.
You felt hurt? You felt nothing?
No.
Oh, no.
I felt mad because they really, alright, so that one guy that was like really, like, they have black people being our own.
Yeah.
And they put us in a mentality where those like, we can be superior than our own. Like, we are literally equal. We are our own. We're the same skin complexion.
Yeah.
But yet you have this mentality where though you feel as though you're superior. You feel as though that you feel as though that you're white. You feel as though that you're right with them. That you're as equal when really all they're doing is just trying to like have us enslave our own people without us knowing.
Yeah.
Let me ask you one quick question. How did you feel about Ludacris and what he was doing?
I felt the same.
I was
Same
disappointed because I like Ludacris.
So, but wait a minute. But I want you to start looking at all the different rappers in that light. When they had the girls out there and they're exploiting these women, okay, you got to look at what's really going on and see what they did is they made enough money to take their family out of the hood, right? But then they still sell this negative energy back to the hood. So they're not sitting amongst shooting and all of that kind of stuff. You know, they're living in Beverly Hills, and, you know, all of these rich places, but they're putting all of this stuff, this negative energy, in the community through the music.
And it's like they're not even looking at it on the same level when it really is on the same level. But they're not looking at it like as it is on the same level because somebody's not getting whipped or somebody's not like he's not sitting up there in their video just whipping them or telling them what to do, controlling their mind. They're not really looking at it on that perspective when it really is on the same level.
Because it's not on a physical perspective, but it's on a mental.
It's a mental.